Hey guys, it's Coffee. Welcome back to Asagao Academy. Before we start, I'm going to read another journal entry, so here we go. Alright. Dear Diary, the flower festival was nice, but now I'm kind of confused. Did Shane secretly want to go with me? And if he did, why didn't he just say so? Yeah, that's one thing about Shane that I'm a little unsure about. He can't seem to pick a lane. We can't really tell how he feels about us, but I guess that's the challenge. That comes with this route. So anyway, let's continue. I did belong in the tournament, and I was going to prove it to Shane. However well the flower festival went, Shane's stance hadn't changed. The others believed in me, so why didn't he? John saw my skill firsthand. Maybe it was time to show Shane too. Seeing is believing, after all. Gripping my phone tightly, I walked into the classroom. It was empty, save for Shane, who was writing at his desk. He looked up at me, then avoided my eyes. It made me instantly second-guess why I was sitting there. My feet felt like they were glued to the ground.
What's up?
Well, go on. You obviously have something to show me. Regret. I regretted coming in there. What was I going to do? Just show him how good I was at this popular phone game and expect that to work? Everyone played that game. Shane wasn't one to be easily impressed either. You're acting like I'm going to run away. I can't leave when you're blocking the door like that, you know. He made a hand motion to me, gesturing for me to approach and sit down. I did so in the seat next to his, then wiped the sweat off my phone before starting up the game. I deserve to be in the tournament, Shane. Do you not believe John? He set his pencil down onto his desk. His chair grated against the polished wood as he shuffled next to me. He exhaled heavily. Okay, I'm willing to see what you can do. I could feel my eyes go wide. This was the chance I needed. At my face brightening up, a reluctant grin appeared on Shane's face as well. Okay, while it's still loading, I just want to say that I've been playing this game since it came out. Of course, its mechanics are pretty similar to all the other match 3s around, but it's at least different enough to know to where I've learned to change my playstyle to better fit the unique attributes of this game, so... Shane put up a hand and mouthed the word, breathe.
No.
I don't need to know your credentials, Hana. Show me how good you are at the actual game. Okay, well, here I go, I guess. I pressed play, and immediately my fingers were like electricity. It started me off at level 1, but the number quickly climbed and the timer bar began to decelerate faster. Around level 35, I began to struggle. The time went down too quickly, and I got stressed trying to keep it up. High score was no longer the priority. It was staying alive. Still, level 35 was very impressive. At level 39, Shane stopped me. I've seen enough. But I haven't lost yet. It's hard to watch. You're just getting single combos so the game won't end. The tournament is not about how far you can make it. It's purely score-based. Even an intermediate player knows how to focus on score rather than time. Running out of time doesn't matter if you have enough points. There's no point in getting to higher levels if you're only getting 4 points every combo. All combo-based games are the same. Pentris? Gemstone? Burn bright, burn quick. I thought you understood that at least the basics. I've seen all I need. You can't be in the tournament representing us like this. Besides, you're competing against someone in the tournament, not doing single player. He scooted his chair away. It was the most he'd ever spoken all at once. If he knew so much about match 3s, why wasn't he playing them in the tournament? Okay, that makes sense. I started to leave. There was still a half hour until class, and Shane didn't seem interested in talking anymore. But I couldn't run away without giving myself some kind of hope for the future. Everyone decided that I was competing, whether you like it or not. You aren't the leader of the team. I'll get better, and then show John and PBG. Shane raised his eyebrows, looking slightly amused at my proposal. I wish you all the best, Hana. I glared at Shane, then stomped out of the room. He would see. I just needed to practice. I sat in a field outside the school, trying to incorporate Shane's tips into my strategy. Changing the fundamentals of my playstyle was harder than I imagined it would be. It was even harder to motivate myself knowing that all this single-player training was almost useless. I'd never even played the competitive version. In it, there was an entirely new component. Solid blocks you couldn't move or break. Maya wasn't interested in or any good at these types of games, so I couldn't practice with her. I rolled my eyes. As I did, something caught my attention. The back of a distinct yellow jacket. It was Ian. He would definitely know how to play, seeing as he was the puzzle representative in the Hidden Blocks team. I swiftly grabbed my backpack and plopped myself next to him.
Hey!
Mind helping me practice Dumbadoom's Revenge? My brain caught up to what my body executed and my confidence dwindled. I laughed weakly, trying to ignore my rapidly beating heart. I mean, if you're not doing anything important.
Hi.
Hi, Hana. Is everything okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You're playing Dumbadoom's Revenge in the tournament, right? I'm, well, a replacement for John in the puzzle department. I'm sure he knows that. He was there when that happened, right? He gave me a skeptical smirk in response. You're my opponent, then. Yes, that's correct. If you were a good competitor, you wouldn't help me. But if you are a good person? I shrugged innocently, though Ian wasn't so convinced.
Yeah!
What do you say? I've never played the two-player, I just want to know what it's like. Come on. It took a lot for me to come over here and ask this. Alright. I have to warn you though, I'm very good. There's a reason Hidden Block chose me. I compete in the puzzle category every single year. I don't know how much you'll learn by losing, but I'll joust. Okay. I don't know why we would ever say this one. I mean, we already said that we're going to give this our all, right? So, yeah, give me your best. I learn quickly. He put his hands up in defeat. Don't say I didn't warn you. He took his phone out of his pocket and started up the game. Mine was already loaded, so I set up the room. Alright, room name? Oh, I assume it's Hana Rules. And the password? Ian Drools. He raised an eyebrow. Shoulda guessed. We'll see about that, won't we? I didn't get much time to practice with the tactics Shane mentioned, but it was apparent within the first few moments that I wouldn't need them. Right away, Ian set up 4 huge combos, and those cursed or unbreakable blocks came down right on top of what I was preparing. He buried me beneath blocks in under a minute of play. It was sad, really. Be quick, Hana. Nobody trying to win will give you enough time to plan out your combos. Shane said as much. He's helping you? Well, he's good. Almost better than me. Why isn't he the puzzle person then? Ian shrugged. He's better at Mario Kart, what can I say? I felt like there was more to it than that. Can we try one more time? We don't have to go to class for another few minutes. Please? You're the only one that plays this game. Alright, if it's for practice, I can't say no. We set up a rematch in Hana rules and began again. I looked up as the timer counted down, and noticed Ian's eyes quickly scanning his screen, preemptively looking for combos. I should have been doing the same. If you remember what I told you, you should be better this time. Ian didn't lift his eyes from his phone, so he couldn't see me nod at him. When my gaze returned to the game, we had already started. My thumbs moved in a flurry, in my desperation to catch up. I saw a 4 match right off the bat, and I swapped blocks. I figured out rather quickly that it was a waste of time dealing with the unmatchable blocks lovingly sent from Ian, but they were rapidly overtaking my screen. I lasted longer this time, but in the end, Ian annihilated me and my poor blocks. I actually struggled for a bit this time. I tried to come up with a retort, but my mind was absolutely blank. He stretched out his hand for a handshake, and I realized he was being sincere. I wiped my sweaty palms on my skirt and gripped his hand. Pretty good for having never played competitively before this. He smiled mischievously at me, and the bell rang.
Bye.
We should get to class. If you need anything else, you know where to find me, Challenger. It was so nice of him to do that. Oh, I really like Ian. It didn't matter what I did. Trophy hunts, high-score achievements, video game paper crafts, even sewn plushies of obscure characters. Nothing interested or impressed Shane. It didn't help that my complete lack of talent in these areas meant that things I made ended up an ugly mess. What was I supposed to do? I still didn't know Shane that well, but I know someone who did. I hurried to John's dorm, wasting as little time as possible.
What's up?
Hey Hana, what's up?
Hey!
John, I was wondering whether you might be able to help me with something. Something Shane-related? John, already aroused by his friend's name, began to tap his chin. Do you have any idea of what sort of gifts he likes, or if he might need anything?
Well...
Maybe he's been homesick? He doesn't say it, but it shows. In more than just his grumpy face. Homesick? I thought of my father's letter tucked under my pillows back in my dorm room, and the strain of being surrounded by people so clearly erased with more than I ever had. Poor Shane. Yeah, his appetite, his attitude, even the way he talks. He's all sad. The concern in his words was hidden behind his ever-cheery tone. John turned his attention fully to me, then continued just as cheerily. He keeps talking about wanting a British flag for his dorm. The symbol of his homeland. The banner of his patriotism.
Yeah!
The mark of his lineage. Yeah, I get it. You know, that sort of thing. That'd probably be the easiest thing to get him.
Well...
That could be nice. But I was hoping to get him something a little more creative than that.
Hey!
Then you probably should make one for him. Ugh, I don't know if this sounds like a good idea. He ushered me inside, then went over to his desk to retrieve something. He returned with a stack of old gaming magazines and a pair of scissors.
Yeah!
Let's do this. After a short few hours of snipping, we crafted a Union Jack that any grade school art teacher would be proud of. After thanking John for his help, I rushed over to Shane's room, eagerness coursing through my veins. I knocked a few times on the front door, but there didn't seem to be any movement or noise coming from inside. I tried again, this time a little more aggressively. Almost instantly, a clamor roared out, as if I woke some slumbering beast. Shane opened the door halfway, his body positioned so as to block vision into the other parts of his room. Are you okay? Did I interrupt anything? I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Something tells me this is not going to go well. He squinted, staring at the colorful collage tucked under my arm. What are you up to? I stepped away from the door, unfolded the flag, and held it out as if it were going to be strung up then and there. Shane's look intensified into intrigued in disgust. Is that...
Yeah.
A Union Jack! John told me you were feeling a little down because you've been away from home for so long, but... His disgusted glare lifted from the flag to me.
What?
Why are you bothering him with stuff like that? Why go through the trouble? My hands retracted, crumpling the flag at its edges. Well, to be fair, if we don't know him that well, that is kind of a weird thing to do. I was trying to do something nice. I didn't want to get you something you didn't need or want, so I asked to make sure. My heart was beating fast, and my body started to feel warm. I couldn't let it deter me. I had to stand my ground. This was just how Shane was with people. Taking a deep breath, I straightened my arms out to properly show the flag. I made this for you because I wanted to show you what I'm capable of. You don't have to hang it up or anything, but please accept it. Shane stepped out from the doorway, forcing me to step back and turn. He leaned in a bit, inspecting it. Then, with a scoff, he took it into his own hands. He held it out like I had, turning and twisting the flag every which way for a critic's look at it. I get that it's scrapped together, but it looks like a ransom letter. Yeah, we probably should have used construction paper instead. It was an understandable complaint. John and I didn't exactly cross-reference our work. Our use of faded, out-of-print gaming literature didn't help either. He shook his head, then folded the flag over his arm. Still, I guess it's not completely horrible. I suppose I can use this until I get something better.
Really?
Thank you. I don't know if that was really a compliment. I mean, you're welcome. Maybe I was just seeing things, but I thought I saw him flash a smile. My heart was beating quicker than ever, but it felt completely different from when I was nervous. I hope you like it. Shane went back into his room, giving a small wave before shutting the door behind him. It took me a minute to realize how quickly he had accepted the flag and brought it back in with him. For a few seconds, I was just standing there, listening to my own heartbeat. If it weren't for one thing, I doubt I would have known he was still on the other side of the door. It was quiet, but I swear, I know for a fact I heard him say, "Thank you, Hana." The next few days, things proved to be a bit awkward between Shane and me. I thought my gift brought us closer together, but instead he avoided my eyes and was doing his best to not even speak to me. After days of frustration, I decided to change tactics. At the opposite end of the hall, I spotted Shane, his attention still turned to the classroom he was leaving. This was my chance. I quickly made my way towards him, trying not to make it seem like I had some all-important ulterior motive.
Hey!
Shane! I unconsciously lifted my hand to greet him, only noticing because he responded with the same motion. Hey, did you know? I closed my eyes and prepared my Cockneyest accent. Oh no. Sorry guys, I can't do a Cockney accent very well. In the Ultra System 2 game Kabuto Driver, although you can play most of the game as Takeda Hondo, you need to assume your driver persona in order to deliver finishing blows to particular boss enemies. This being an attribute brought over from the source material's extensive history of dynamic climaxes. When I opened my eyes, there was a less than entertaining expression on Shane's face. I don't know why we did this. Oh no. But for some reason, the edges of his lips started to visibly tremble. I don't know, I felt really terrible about that, and I don't feel like trying again, actually. We should... No, just no. I figured that was enough embarrassing myself for today. And now you know. I'm sorry. I swear I'll never do that again. Please don't. Please don't. Shane's trembling stopped, a warm smirk plastered on his face. Thanks. That was all he said before departing for his next class. Oh god, that was awful. I don't understand why we can't just, I don't know, ask him out on another date or something, just to, get to know him. Because, this is not working, clearly. Later that day at lunch, Shane had lamented how awful the school fish and chips were. As I listened, I tucked the idea away with glee. I would make them for him. Okay. I'd never fried anything before in my life, but it couldn't be that hard. Oh, don't speak so soon. Luckily, the dorm kitchens were stocked pretty nicely. There was a thick fillet of cod in the back of the fridge, and I pulled it out and cut it up. Wait, so the school also provides just free food for the fridge? I mean, that's pretty sweet. I don't know why they would do that, though. I remembered from frying chicken with my dad that batter was flour and water, mainly. As I soaked the fish strips in eggs, I slipped out a cookbook to make sure my knowledge was correct. This had to be perfect, and I only had enough fish for one try. I followed the recipe, mixing together the spices and the flour. When the oil was properly heated, I took a slotted spoon and set it out to fry. It was difficult, and I was terrified a drop of oil was going to jump out and hit my face, but they were finally done. I clapped my hands together and the flour exploded into the air, dusting my face and hair. Oh, that apron's cute. But as I looked down at my fried creation, I smiled. They looked absolutely perfect. I had done everything right for once. Maybe this would make up for my pitiful attempts at cheering Shane up. I wiped my hands on the apron and hung it back up before slipping on my uniform jacket. Lunch period was nearly over since I had elected to spend it making this fish. I plated it up rather messily and shielded it with plastic wrap. If I ran, Shane would still have enough time to try it. To avoid being smited by the tumble gods, I made sure my shoes were tied and there was nothing to trip on. I made my way to the cafeteria. Dishes would have to be done later.
Hey.
After everything that's happened, I don't know if I have a good feeling about this. Oh, here she is. I told you she didn't forget about us. I slid into the seat next to Mai and pushed the plate to Shane, trying not to make eye contact with anyone. It's fish and chips. Well, without the chips. It's fish. Why? You complained about the school food, right? I know you're kinda missing home, and I understand. My parents used to make this for me, and it always cheered me up, so... I unwrapped the plastic wrap for the plate and released the steam. I mean, I know she tried hard on this, but to be fair, if I didn't know someone that well and they did all this for me, I would be a little weirded out too. But, whatever. I caught a quick smile from Shane. I was happy to get a glimpse of his elusive Shane smile, patent pending. Well, at least he's appreciative. Wow, Hana, they smell really good. Thanks, Gerard. The blush hiding behind my fear floated to the surface. Of course, I made enough for everyone to have some. Shane's gotta eat it first though, right? Under the watch of the Normal Bits Club, Mai and myself, Shane picked up a piece of my creation. Thanks. He took a huge bite, careful at first, then chewed, his face shifting into something more akin to surprise. Oh, does he like it? Wow, this is actually a really good... What? Oh no. He stopped suddenly, then dropped the fish and began searching desperately for something. Oh god, is he gonna puke? When it was not found, he got up and ran out of the cafeteria, coughing on the way. But the fish had to have been perfect. I followed the recipe so closely. No one else said a word. I ripped off a small piece of fish and chewed it slowly. Oh, we didn't try it before? Immediately I knew what was wrong. Mouth ablaze, I fished around in my backpack for my water bottle and downed the whole thing in 4 seconds. It's a little spicy. My voice was but a croak. I was too busy trying to hide the uncontrollable tears brimming my eyes. Mai and Satch took a crumb and ate it. A moment later, they were really feeling it. Oh, poor Shane. Dang, I can't handle my spicy food better than your average person, but this is something else. He shook his head violently and Mai's face puckered. This could be a magical girl component, Hana. Wow. Just how much cayenne did you add?
Well...
2 cups? What? Why? No. That could not be correct. They all looked as if I had killed someone right in front of them. 2 cups? I thought it was a lot too, but that's what the recipe said. That can't be right. 2 teaspoons, maybe. That's what I was thinking too. I don't know. I thought everything was right, but obviously it's not. I looked down in defeat, and here I thought everything was perfect. Now that Jared mentioned it, they did look a little red to be fried fish. Do you think Shane's okay? He ate a lot. Yeah, he's probably not feeling well.
Huh.
A little spice never killed anyone, Hana. He's fine. I love the optimism, but I really doubt it. I'd imagine he's just getting some water from the bathroom. Gerard is right. Plus, even if it did turn out as expected, he should still be thankful that you took the time to cook for him. Why don't you ever cook me things, huh? Mai pushed me playfully.
Uh-huh.
You did a nice thing. If he doesn't appreciate it, then you shouldn't appreciate him. Thanks, guys. Want me to go talk to him? I shook my head. It's fine. Class is about to start anyways. He'll probably be here, and I can apologize profusely. I don't assume anyone wants these. I lifted up the plate and offered it around.
Yay!
Ooh, me? What? I wasn't expecting a serious answer and was already getting up to throw them away.
What?
Why would you possibly want these? You know, variety, is like a pinch of cumin in a simmering pot of life. I wasn't buying it. My culinary failures can only be used for good, not evil. Oh, is she gonna, feed it to Mimi or something? I dumped the fish into the trash.
What the hell?
The thump of them hitting the bottom of the bin went nicely with Mai's anguished wails. But you know my recipe now. I'm not condoning food terrorism, but I can't exactly stop you. Mai sprang up and hugged me.
Yeah!
I knew you'd see things my way. Well, not quite. Soon, everyone else began cleaning up and putting away their trays. Shane still hadn't come back. I guessed I wouldn't see him until later. I mean, or not, he probably needs a nurse or something. Cheer up, Hana, he's fine. Gerard paused and squinted at something across the cafeteria.
Exactly!
Yeah, see? Isn't that him over there? Oh no. It was hard to see Shane in this angry figure coming straight towards me.
Really?
You couldn't win my acceptance, so you tried to kill me.
No!
No, it wasn't like that. No matter what you try and do, I'm not going to change my mind. Still fuming, he walked over to John and put an arm around his shoulder. On his shoulder, the other one clutching his stomach. Tell Miss Shizuka I won't be able to make it. He looks over his shoulder at me. Someone made me nauseous. See, I knew we made him sick. He was not okay. Whoa, missing class? You okay, dude? Clearly not. Besides the fact that I want to expunge my charred organs from my body. Yes. He walked off. What was Shane talking about? You guys have some beef?
What?
No, I think he's just delirious. I looked down at the ground, suddenly very interested in my shoelaces. My food was terrible, after all. Hey, don't get so down. We'll try again together next time, okay? She clapped me on the back. By now I was more than used to my Heimlich. Thanks. Let's get to class. Maybe it'll help me forget. Okay, so I think I'm gonna call it here. Man, a lot of things have happened in this episode. And I get that we're trying to, win him over or something, but I feel like if I were him, I'd want someone to just sit down and get to know me like a normal person. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.